I've been reading this book called The Anxious Generation. It's about how mental health has declined in kids basically who've had the front-facing camera and high-speed internet available to them. This is a brand new thing. Girls are comparing themselves not just to the beauty of girls in their village, but across the whole world. Boys are comparing themselves to the competencies, not just of boys in their village, but boys in the whole world. And a lot of the beauty and the competency that's presented on social media is fake anyway. It's inflated. So this book presents real facts and figures on that it's not your imagination. Mental health is declining. Kids today are more depressed and disconnected than is natural for their age. Kind of verifies things people have been talking about, but gives the real statistics to talk about it as more than just an emotion. One of the things that it talks about, I have to check my note here. It's a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. This is a thing they discovered in cats. Yeah. I passed a guy back there. I threw off my groove. That's going to be part of the video, though. The variable ratio reinforcement schedule is this loop that's built in your brain. They put a cat into a box, and there's no obvious way out of the box. There's a lever that opens the door. And first the cat freaks out and starts bumping at everything, pawing everything, trying to get out. When it touches the lever, the door opens. The cat doesn't know what a lever is. But the second time they put the cat in the box, takes a little shorter time to find the lever. Third time, the cat knows the drill. Just doesn't even freak out. Touches the lever, walks out. And they were able to train cats to use levers, not something natural to their environment, because you see a stimulus, you see a desired behavior, it's desired by the researchers, and you engage that behavior, you get a reward. This is called the Thorndike cat experiment, and they can see the pathways worn in the brain to where scrolling, not a natural movement, not a reflexive movement. Scrolling has become reflexive. We do it without thinking about it. Something that once would have taken effort to learn how to do now takes an immense effort to stop yourself from doing it, because the motion has been solidified in place by dopamine. The author of Anxious Generation had this experience that led him to write the book where his little girl said, "Daddy, I need you to take this iPad away from me. I'm trying to take my eyes off it, but I can't." Our attention is being channeled down these loops that are programmed by the device that we're using. Companies doing this changes your phone from a Swiss Army knife to an addictive substance. These companies know how our brains work, and they're wiring it into, and they're using it to make their product more engaging.
One behind your right.
Thanks.
More.
Right. It shows the discussions they've had at Facebook, how to make this more engaging, how to make the scroll reflexive. And it is, you've felt it. That's what people don't realize. Attention is a real thing that can be bought and sold. This is what newspapers are. You think newspapers care about reporting the news? They care about having your eyeballs on the paper so that they can sell that paper to advertisers. If you think that you are using your phone, you are deceived. You are vulnerable, because in fact, your phone is utilizing your attention. Same way your employer is utilizing your time. Let's say you're mentoring somebody, he's utilizing your skills. There's nothing wrong with this, but when you are on your phone, companies are utilizing your attention to get things, and maybe you get something out of it too, but you have to understand the transaction that is taking place. And it doesn't look like a transaction. That's the dangerous part. And Anxious Generation actually doesn't provide this take on it, but this is my take as a teacher, that the cats did not learn how to use a lever. They didn't gain understanding how to use the lever. They were conditioned to use the lever. It's important to understand the difference. Learning is when your brain grows and becomes more capable, but conditioning is when a new habit arrives. And it'd be good to add a new habit. Like I'm out walking this morning. Hey, buddy.
Look looking for birds or
No, just
whatever?
YouTube videos. Out talking to my YouTube audience about this book that says it's not just your imagination that kids are more depressed now that they have phones. There's real science that shows what's
believe it.
going on.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm glad our kids were grown up before the phones were in the kids' hands.
Our grandchildren in those ages now.
Yeah.
It's been numerous episodes of angst and all of these friends don't like me anymore. They said this horrible thing about so and so or about me, and you know.
Yeah.
We don't,
And
I
they
think
cut
I'm
me
glad
out
we
of
don't
their-
have any grandchildren.
They cut me out of their group, and
Yeah.
just
It's,
on and
it's
on.
sad. Well, you have a
You too.
good session this
You
morning.
too. Good to see you guys.
Yep.
Thanks for talking.
You're welcome. So yeah, learning versus conditioning. Learning is when your brain becomes more capable, is able to do more things, is able to apply itself more ways, and you're able to apply what is inside into more situations in life. But conditioning is just a habit. I'm out trying to walk more often or work out. You already brush your teeth without thinking about it. Habits are good. You want your brain to do things automatically sometimes, but which things are you doing automatically? Is it sin, or is it? I was going to say laziness. That's also a sin. Is it something that is poisonous for you, or is it something that is growing you? That is making you more virtuous? Do we say kind greetings to people because we mean it or because it's our habit? Well, it's okay if it's a habit, because making a kind greeting to somebody is a thing that makes you more kind, so you should be doing it out of habit. Scrolling on a phone doesn't do anything for you, and it maybe does something for advertisers. And so that was the thing that scared me even in this book. He doesn't differentiate learning and conditioning. And, if this guy already thinks that learning, thinks that those are the same, then he's already got a computerized view of the brain that shows how deep the problem goes that he is talking about. I almost got in a loop right there, trying to get this take right. I had to readjust the camera because first I sat down here, said something charming about my new bag that I got for Father's Day, and how it's good to sit down, whatever. And then I realized the camera was looking more at the ground than at the sky, and so then I almost got in a loop of trying to redo the way I'd said it before, because my attention was on the past. There's attention again. That's my second clue to you about what the video. The first was the guy who walked past me, threw me off. It's the second. Just wait for the end of the video. So you can read all about this he shows the Hooked model from this book called Hooked, How to Build Habit-Forming Products. And this is the confessions of this user interface designer from Facebook. And talks, here's how they do it. They're doing it on purpose, where you have the trigger pop up or something new on the screen. You have an action, which is to click or scroll or something. You have a variable reward. That's the important thing. Sometimes the reward is big, sometimes the reward is small. Scroll down to the next picture. Maybe it's hilarious. Maybe it's just mildly funny. Maybe it's disgusting. Maybe it's offensive. Maybe it makes you angry. The point is the reward is variable, like a slot machine, and they've proven with rats that it's more addictive if you don't know the quantity or quality of the reward. This is why people throw away so much money into slots, is not knowing whether there will be a reward or what kind of reward it'll be is actually more exciting somehow. And then there's investment. Once you've done that a bunch of times, now you're committed to keep doing it, and that's how it works. It's a vicious cycle. We want our habits to be a virtuous cycle, where the trigger is, it's bedtime, I take an action, brushing my teeth. There really isn't much of there's a little bit of a reward, like my teeth feel a little bit cleaner. It's harder to build that habit because the reward is less interesting and it's pretty much the same every time, but then you have investment. I do it every time, and my mouth feels cleaner and my breath is cleaner and people respond to me better. And that's a virtuous habit. And there's nothing wrong with the process. process. This is how our brains work. I do this to you all the time, where I have a thumbnail with something exciting or a title with something exciting in it. I want you to take action, click on it, and then sit there. And then the reward is variable. You didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about. You know me, and you know my thumbnail, what my thumbnail promised, and then you get something maybe unexpected or a little bit expected, and then you're committed. That's why I ask you to subscribe at the end of the video. But the thing is, I'm doing this in order to bring you things that I've learned from my particular experience, and to bring you things that would better you, not things that would make you more numb and susceptible to me feeding you lies in the future, or to me getting your money. This is the structure by which we get people to take action. But it's But the good news is attention is a skill, and that is the point of this video. Attention is, in fact, a skill. It's a commodity. People want to use yours. People want to take your attention and put it on their product, but it is also a skill. You can discipline your ability to direct your attention. You can even increase your attention. This is why I walk barefoot. I didn't think my channel would be about this. I just stopped hiding it, and now I'm talking about it. But walking barefoot expands your attention, because there are things on the ground that could hurt you. So you start paying more attention, and then that becomes less work, and you start using that attention to see the world around you. That's how it works in anything. If you discipline yourself, set a restriction. Like you set yourself a challenge. Like there aren't shoes around for me to put on. Right? I'm stuck this way. So set yourself, commit yourself, so that you have to pay attention to this thing, and then it becomes part of the loop. Habituated. It becomes part of the loop. And the dopamine reinforces it. The repetition reinforces it until now it's no longer work, and now you have all that attention that you cultivated to point outwards at other things. I got to get going. Good journey.